Welcome to Stoughton Media Access Cable's Community Forum Show. Today I have the pleasure to bring you a number of gentlemen who are going to roast our favorite executive director, Roy Cohen. He's here. So before we start, let me introduce our roasters, if you would. So I've got Dave Young, one of the staff here, and he is just delighted for the opportunity to slice and dice, I guess we would say.
Yes, that is so true.
We also have Norm Katz, and Norm Katz is former selectman over in Sharon. He's helped in any number of charitable things, and every once in a while, when you've done too much charity, that's when you have to kind of spill out the other stuff. On behalf of Roy, I think is going to happen. To my left, I've got Terry Schneider, executive director of the Stoughton Chamber of Commerce. He's not going to roast officially on the night of the event, which is November 4th at 7 p.m., but we're going to give him a shot right now to try it out. And then our esteemed colleague, Roy Cohen, who's put himself out here for the benefit of the Military Friends Foundation. So that's where some of the monies from this wonderful event are going to go. So we'd like you to think about coming down on Saturday, 7 p.m. to the VFW Hall on Washington Street and have a chance to hear about some of the amazing, what the guests have to say about Roy. And before I give it over to my guests, I want to mention the reason that Roy is being roasted is his unique input throughout Stoughton's, his time in Stoughton over maybe several decades or centuries, I'm not sure which. So he was a Stoughton selectman for 3 terms and was voted chairman a couple of times. He's a past member of the Norfolk County Advisory Board. He served on the Jail Subcommittee, the Stoughton Water Study Committee, the Stoughton Industrial Development Commission. I mean, the list goes on. I have a list of 20. A member and a director of Oasis, Stoughton Chamber of Commerce, member of a Harvard Torah congregation, occasional caller for their bingo, past member Stoughton Lions Club, past president of the Police Square Club, producer and director of the Community Forum Show. And I'm telling you, he does an incredible job bringing guests and trying to make Stoughton a better place to live and to work. So he's also a member of the Political Asylum Oldies Band, and the reason I want to mention that for sure is they are going to play at this event. So I'd like to turn it over first to Terry Schneider on my left, and just Terry, could you tell us from what you know of the event and maybe just give us a taste?
Sure. Well, we've been, I run the Chamber of Commerce, I'm the executive director, and we have now been doing roasts for about 10 years. I forget who came up with the idea, but I believe I was the first one to be roasted. My son actually roasted me, which was really surprising because he was very introverted, but I guess he loved the opportunity to be able to make fun of his dad, and he had a lot of fun with that. And we've roasted several people through the years, the police chief, the fire chief, the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, many and many people. And we started running out of people, so we asked Roy. And
He's not a person?
Roy,
we have an alien now.
Somewhat of a person.
We run out of people.
Roy and I go back too many years, close to 40. When I first moved here, my ex-brother-in-law was actually working with Roy as his ad campaign chair. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how long it's been. And you were a customer of mine. Right. We used to sell you our microbrush hand cleaner. That's the business that I was in and still do some of that today. But that's what the roast is about. It is a good opportunity to make fun of Roy. It is a good opportunity for the Chamber of Commerce to benefit from a little bit of non-dues revenue. It's a good opportunity to support various fundraisers and charities through the years, which is the choice of the roastee. And this year, as Steve mentioned, it's Military Friends Foundation, which is actually run by a fellow by the name of Jim Kelly, who is a Stoughton resident. So they will be happy to accept our funds for families of military and veterans to support them. That's about all I've got.
Good. Well, let's switch gears and let's hear what Norm Cates has to say.
Well, I really don't have much to say. Is this program rated PG, R, or X?
I think we're going to stick with a PG/R. We're not going all the way down that road.
Okay. Unaccustomed.
In spite of his life being perhaps on that downside.
Steve Kelly, unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I've known Roy, for for several years. When I knew him from the beginning, when he ran for selectman, that's when the town of Stoughton started to go to hell. And it just continued.
I agree.
It seemed ever since.
It needs to be resuscitated.
He is an icon of the community of Stoughton. He can embarrass anyone. He wasn't in the military that I know of.
No, it was a reject.
I'm not surprised. He's been rejected from a lot of places. I can beat him in a race, and I really don't give a what I say. So I say what I want and mean what I say, or mean what I say and say what I want. He's a good man. Ask his wife. However, he is a real pain in the ass. And we can go on from there. And we'll give this gentleman a chance to dump on me and him.
So Dave Young,
Yes.
a step to the fore, and let's hear what you have to add to this wonderful dimension here.
Of Roy, I agree exactly with my partner here.
Esteemed
Because when
caller.
I moved in, he was selectman. And then, yes, since then, things have gone downhill. Completely downhill. But Roy, Roy's not a bad guy, I mean, he's okay.
So can you tell me a little bit about the various, let's say, exciting adventures he's put you through here at Community Forum?
Oh, that's been nothing but sheer hell since I've worked with Roy. It's been
Could you point to one particular, a memory that you have that you're like,
yes.
really, Roy, did you really do that?
Yes, in the early days, when Roy directed, I remember being down the hallway working on editing and hearing Roy screaming for help. You remember those days, Roy, don't you?
They still go on.
They still, yeah, they do. But, I mean, that sticks in my mind, that, Roy screaming. Somebody, it was like, oh boy, here we go. And we would walk down the hallway, not run, because we wanted you to sweat a little there, Roy. So we purposely let you sweat.
Roy, tell the audience, how did you make the decision to come into Community Forum and to create the Community Forum? Because it didn't exist before you, am I right?
That's correct.
So how did you
It
come
goes
to this
back
decision?
goes back about 30 years. And it was when cable first was installed in Stoughton, and the shows that we put out were live. They're not recorded like they are today. And we were down on Washington Street, in the building where Daddy's Dairy is.
Okay, right down there.
That was where the studio was. And way back, in my teenage days, I was kind of involved in a similar type of thing with Junior Achievement in Providence. I was on the radio every Saturday, and I just loved doing it. And when cable became a real thing in Stoughton, somehow volunteered to get involved there, and I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, so it's amazing because the topic range that we do is everything from the Military Friends Foundation all the way through a number of
international
guests. And
guests,
we just did one on the Pediatric Cancer Fund for the
Right,
Jimmy Fund,
right.
Mark Levine's show. So, and you brought, where do you get all these guests?
They come out of the void back there.
They come from the void.
The void, yeah.
I don't know, Norm.
Right,
I think
Norm?
that's a step. I think that's a step-in point for you.
He obviously has a void. I remember him one day coming to a selectmen's meeting when it became on TV, and I saw him coming out of the bathroom or the men's room, what have you, because I saw him walking along, and there was a piece of toilet paper stuck to the back of his shoe. It was pretty long, and as he walks in, here comes a flaming. But we have to be careful. A roast is really not a roast. A roast is to speak about someone who you won't embarrass, who you'll tell it like it is, and you won't put your finger up your nose and go like that. That's what he usually does. But he's a good man, and he won't embarrass anyone because it takes a hell of a lot to embarrass or insult me. And if he does, if I insult someone, please tell your friends so you don't get embarrassed.
So the-
And don't worry.
I think we have to revise the list of roasters.
Yes, I'm sensing though that there's a theme that we can kind of get out there to the roasters, the theme that he's a good man. I think that can be like the developable line that starts off every one of these roasts, I think. He's a good man.
But
But,
Really?
but,
He was a
Right?
good man.
but, dot, dot, dot.
Okay, so I'd like to just take a minute and just let me read the advertisement for this, and
Okay.
maybe Mike in the background, if Mike could put it up there, great. So it's a roast, the Stoughton Chamber of Commerce is presenting it. It's an evening of fun. It's going to be emceed by Marjorie Clapprood, former selectman and Stoughton Chamber of Commerce chair, and a producer, host of SMAC's Community Forum show, for Roy Cohen, that is. And after the roast, you're going to enjoy the music of Political Asylum. You're also going to hear from Steve Fredkin, Steve Hillman, and Max Whiting in the band. So for more information, call Cindy Pazera. I hope I have that right. 617-212-2365. I'm going to repeat it. 617-212-2365. They're tables of 10, $25 per person. You don't have to bring 10. You can just sit with other people. And you're going to have lots of wonderful desserts there. It'll be a great time, lots of laughs. And again, a portion of the proceeds will go to the Military Friends Foundation, which is just a wonderful thing. And that's Saturday, November 4th at 7 p.m., VFW Post on Washington Street here in Stoughton. So, Dave, give us I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, while you're there, because it's a good time to just cover some of the donated decadent.
Oh, okay,
Desserts.
let's hear some of those
Yes.
decadent desserts.
hurry up before your
Which are
battery
delicious.
gets.
Yeah, really. We have cupcakes coming from Tito's Cakes.
Good.
We have Stop and Shop Supermarket's going to be providing a nice sheet cake. Ahava Torah Congregation is going to be providing some stuff. Cindy Pizarro herself and Carol Cohen, your wife. I don't know if you realize that she's going to be making some form
Yes,
of
I do.
I don't
of
know
a
if you
trifle.
realize you still had a wife,
I do.
Yeah.
okay?
According to this, you do until the
Yes.
until the battery dies. And then Panera Cafe actually just signed on 2 hours ago, and they're going to be donating some of their decadent desserts. So
And
just
what
wanted
was
to
the
make sure.
dessert that Alex's had offered?
Alex's. What was the rating on the show? No Alex's.
Just say whatever's on your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was it. I think, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Dave,
Yes.
step right in here and share, if you would,
Yes. What would you
what
like?
exactly it's like trying to work with Roy on this very show, for instance.
Well, it's sheer hell. Behind the
You
scenes
gotta
can
say
be.
what's on your mind, David.
Oh, well, see, this is why I don't go on community forums because he prefers to have us in the background rather than the foreground. That's why I had to shave my head.
That was something.
But, Roy causes chaos in this place.
Last year for the what was the fund? It was the Shave Your Head Fund for cancer, was it?
Yes.
He
Now,
volunteered.
Norm,
to-
you don't have to do that, do you?
No, no,
You must
no,
be
no, no,
completely,
just-
have already contributed many times over.
Brush and buff.
David sat here and got his head shaved on screen. It was amazing.
Well, I told you that was the only way you'd get me on community forum.
He saved about $2 for the haircut by doing that.
Hey, we do what we have to for Roy. And sometimes we go above and beyond. And
That was one time.
yeah, Roy's he's a piece of work.
Let me allow you to do it in a different way, Norm. Talk to me about the appreciation of Roy that you have. Some wonderful things
Well,
that you've
you
had
know,
him
on a
participate in your life.
on
for
a
instance.
different side of Roy, without embarrassing him, you ask a busy man to get a job done, and he did it. And I know all the years that he served his community, he cared.
And continues to serve.
It was never about Roy. His thoughts were always like mine. What can we do, or what can he do, to make the town of Stoughton a better place within which to live? He was always there to answer people's questions, to help any way he possibly can. And I, as a selectman in a neighboring town who was serving, the same time as he was, you see, and you hear, because we had a business in Stoughton, and you watch what he did and what his thoughts were. He was honest, he was sincere, he was compassionate, besides being a pain in the ass.
He wasn't always like that well directed. I remember the one program that he tried, Rum for Children, and that really just didn't resonate with the community. It's like it was a big push. He's like Saturday morning's Rum for Children. Most people would think it was Run for Children, but this was Rum for Children.
What the hell did you do?
So it was like I don't really understand like that misguided piece.
Was that sponsored by Bacardi?
Yeah, I think he had a printing deal with Bacardi's, and it was something that came up. So, but
How about his
Dave,
beautiful Christmas shows with the kids? How about those, Roy?
Those were fun.
Oh yeah, your side. Our side it wasn't. We had all these kids running around, candy canes, coordinating. Well,
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah,
was good.
making us jump through hoops while you sit there
Well,
and
you
eat candy
guys are
canes.
great backup force. There's
Actually,
no doubt about it.
I can give you a quick story. Roy is actually responsible for why I get paid at the Stoughton Chamber of Commerce. So for those people who don't feel I should be paid, you can speak to Roy Cohen. But I actually, from 2002, I think, to 2007, I was the president of the chamber. We were under a different governing system and didn't have a executive board and didn't have anybody paid. And Roy was on my board of directors at the time. And Roy is the one who instigated that we consider changing our governing body over to having an executive director, which would be a paid position, and having an executive board. And the board at that time, on Roy's thoughts and guidance, voted unanimously to do that.
You deserved it.
And I do appreciate that, the demotion from president to employee. Thank you very much.
But you deserved it.
Yes.
That's all the work that you put into it.
Yes, I
Should be paid.
I agree. And
he
I-
also started the Stoughton
started
for
it.
Trump campaign too. That
No,
was
no, we
it
didn't.
was something that he really strongly advocated.
No,
And I
wrong.
came in, I tried to talk him out of it, and he wanted me to do a show on it. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to set well with a lot of people, even though, business,
you go.
And he says, no, he said, Terry's behind this.
Oh.
He said, Terry's behind this. Let's do the show,
Next thing is
Stoughton
you
for
get
Trump.
Norm behind it.
So
I wouldn't mention a thing about his relationship to Harvey Weinstein.
For those of you who are just tuning in,
We're not going to go there.
We're not going to go
this
there.
is part of the roast.
He didn't mean it. He did not mean it. He's a good man. By the way, what in the hell did the selectmen get paid in Stoughton?
Nothing.
you mean, wait, you mean over the table? Or,
Under the table.
Over the
oh,
table.
okay,
Under
I'm
the
sorry.
table.
Oh,
okay.
no. Yeah. You didn't get a salary in Stoughton?
When I was first elected in the 70s, there was a small annual pay.
Of how much?
I think it was $500 a year.
A stipend.
A stipend.
A stipend.
Those of us in the poor community of Sharon only got $400 a year when we took the salary.
Well, we're better than you.
You can say what you want to say, but I can understand that.
That's why Sharon can afford banners and we can't.
That's what
It was
you're
that
right.
$100 a year for all those years that you were able to pack away.
I made a fortune in Sharon.
It didn't last long. The town meeting eventually voted down compensation for the selectmen, which was a shame because they should be paid for all the work they do.
I agree.
I agree also, it's a lot of work,
Yep.
a lot of responsibility, and accountability.
Oh, and the telephone calls. We used to get telephone calls in Sharon years ago, before the TV, when the selectmen were also the Board of Health. People would call me up and say that they were constipated and what should I do. One woman called, said she needed a bath. And these are true stories. And, my wife said, well, what the hell are you going to do? I said, I'm not going over there and give anyone a bath. I told one woman, take a bottle of citron magnesia, go out and hold on to the railing, dial 911 or whatever, and just start screaming and get out of the way. And call, we called the fire department. Now, Roy would not do that because he's certainly a gentleman. Never served in the military, but he is certainly a gentleman. A scholar? Yeah.
I think this show is going to be seen at midnight.
Don't worry about it. What I say you see on TV every day.
Uh-huh.
You know, you see on TV every day. Just watch our beloved, you know, supposed president. He says whatever's on his mind.
Aye, let's not even go there.
Yeah, we're not going there,
That's time for another subject for another show.
right?
Why? Why are we roasting Roy? We were talking about that earlier.
Okay.
Why Roy?
It's a good question.
I would say that we could blame that on Cindy.
Okay.
Cindy Bizzara. She's
she-
our
she the
chair.
one?
She's the one. Cindy and I sat down and we were thinking about who would be a good person to roast, who deserves it, and who can also bring in people. Because let's face it, when we do roasts, it's an event, and it's an event, as I said earlier, it's a non-dues income event. It's how the chamber survives, and it's important to have people who would bring in seats.
Well, if you get someone who people really care about, whether it's positive or negative.
That's right.
I think in most of the instances of Roy Cohen, it would be positive. I mean, he cares about his community.
Well, he is a
And
good
I don't want to
man.
repeat
He is a
myself.
good man.
He is
But let me
good.
interrupt for a sec because we need to go to the announcements, right? And I just want to share from the show that we just did. We were moving along in the show, and out comes Leo McGowan, our wonderful camera guy, with this sign, and it says announce and mints. And I'm looking at the sign going, announce something. Roy sent this out. Roy said, announce, and I'm going, I'm trying to read mints. What a mince, what a mince. Like announce mints, announce the mints. Okay, well,
ran
it's
out of room.
announcements. So please, if Mike's over there, out in the background, we want to go to announcements right now.
Mints.
Hi, it's Gary LaPierre, and the crew wants to thank Maxie's Delicatessen. That's at 117 Sharon Street in Stoughton. They're 781-341-1662. American Cancer Society, yes, they're looking for volunteers. Drive cancer patients to and from their treatments. 1-800-ACS-6662. Or just go to www.cancer.org. Ilsa Mark's Food Pantry in St. Anthony's Free Market, 2 Park Avenue in Stoughton. For more information, call Christine Gallagher. That's at 781-341-0611 or 781-341-0549. Meals on Wheels. Just ask for Jessica. You'll find her at 781-344-8882, extension 2. Stoughton Penny Saver. Our business is advertising your business, they tell us. 27 Rose Glen Street, Stoughton, 781-344-4833. Community Forum showtimes in Stoughton. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 6 p.m., Monday at 8 p.m., Tuesday at 5 p.m. It's on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 28. All comments and suggestions welcome. Contact us at communityforum1@yahoo.com. Samaritans, they're at 41 West Street on the 4th floor in Boston, 02111. Their phone number is 617-536-2460, 24-hour helplines for Samaritans, and the number is 877-870-HOPE. That's 877-870-4673. Samaritans, you can find them at 800-252-TEEN. That's 252-8336. Or find them online at SamaritansHope.org.
So we're going to talk to you right now about the Rock and Roast on November 4th, 7 p.m. on the VFW on Washington Street. That'll be emceed by Marjorie Clapprood for Roy Cohen. We're also going to have the band Political Asylum. We want you all to tell all your neighbors, your friends, anyone who's had any, let's say, interactions with Roy. I'm sure they'll find this an amusing time, and it's also for a good cause of the Military Friends Foundation. Our friend Jim Kelly will make sure that goes to the right places. So we're back here in studio. I have a very honored group of men here: Dave Young, Norm Katz, Terry Schneider, and the infamous, now infamous, soon to be infamous, Roy Cohen. So Roy,
Yes.
what are you going to have like for vitamins on that day as you get started, and when are you going to take your nap?
I think it's going to be tranquilizers.
Okay. And your nap? What time will you take your
Nap
nap?
will be at 6:30.
6:30 for the 7 o'clock show.
Yes.
So you're going to get there and
I'll be
put
fresh.
a cot out back. All right.
That show is going to be interesting. Besides the roasting, the fact that the band has been put back together again, we haven't been with each other for about 2 years. Various sicknesses and stuff prevented that from happening, but everybody is well, and we've been working very hard on trying to put up, to perfect the songs that we're going to do, and I think everybody will really enjoy it.
What kind of songs? Tell us about the oldies and stuff you're going to play.
All the oldies of various quality.
You
And
can
then-
see the dementia setting in. Which songs? The oldies of various dimensions and qualities.
various names and acts, etc.
The et cetera word. Mispronounced, I might add.
No, etc.
Thank you. That's good. All right, Norm.
All right.
your last word before we go.
I just want to say that this guy is special, and you got to give him a kiss
Oh, this is on camera.
because I love him. Listen, don't knock it until you try it.
All right, there we go. All right, Dave
And
Young.
Elvis is going to be
Dave
here.
Young.
I'm not going to kiss. I'm not going to kiss you, Roy.
I'm afraid
Carol's
to
in the
listen-
background
afraid
looking
to-
at this and going, I'm never touching that
my
forehead
God.
again.
I'm not going there. Yeah, you're a good man, Roy.
Well,
That's the nicest thing you're going to get out of me is you're a good guy. I appreciate what you do, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I appreciate everybody coming on the show to talk about it today.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay, Roy.
He's FOS. You know.
It's called brown nosing.
There you got it.
Yeah.
Terry, go
Yes.
ahead.
Well, the most important thing that we should say is tickets are available, as it said on the advertisement, at the Chamber's website, stoughtonma.com. But one of the important points is that you do not have to purchase your tickets if you choose not to, but you should reserve your space, and you can pay for the tickets at the door.
And call Cindy Pizzera, 617-212-2365. I want to use this last few seconds to thank Mike Hammond out in the background, and also Leo McGowan on the cameras. He does a great job. I want to thank you, the audience. Thanks for watching our show.
Can you sneak in? And I'm not bringing anything, and I'm
Sneak
not
in
paying.
if you can. All right.